Are you ready for some football talk? A Monday night game between the Eagles and Chargers means we get a four-hander preview with the Professor, EJ, Fran, all here, ready to talk next on the PHLY Eagles podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the PHLY Eagles podcast on a beautiful Friday live from the Xfinity studio. This is presented by Bet365 and Ashley, Bo Wulf, Fran Duffy, EJ Smith, and the Professor with his glass of vodka ready to go. How you guys doing?
I'm doing great. I love the way that the set looks when there's four people in it.
Full set.
I know, it's got a lot of energy. And I mean, it feels good to not be in the host chair today.
I thought you did a great job yesterday.
Yeah, that was great.
I appreciate you
Good
guys
job,
saying
EJ.
that. But, you know, it's a lot more relaxing being on this side of the
I liked
host chair.
all of the EJ less lore.
Oh, yeah. I love Les,
That
man.
was fun.
Yeah, that was a fun show. Enjoyed chatting with Les. Like I said, I gave him his flowers yesterday, and he didn't seem to appreciate it, so I won't belabor the point.
Fran, how are you?
Doing great.
Everybody check out the latest episode of the All-City NFL Draft Show.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Give a little plug.
Yeah, we are. I was joined by Corey Quinyon. We went through the three biggest conference title games for college football taking place tomorrow on Saturday. So broke down who the top prospects are, why you should be aware of them, and then just getting ready for the rest to come here in the NFL draft process. Senior Bowl and Shrine Bowl announcements. Subscribe to the newsletter. I put a bunch of info on a bunch of those players. It's a free email that gets sent to your inbox every Friday morning.
Corey starts with a Q, I believe.
No.
Q Canon.
No.
I mean, could be.
I don't think so.
Professor, how are you?
I'm doing great. Doing well. Enjoying the
You got a new shirt.
end of the semester.
I noticed.
Yeah. Still available.
This is not available on the PHLY
Still
merch
available
store.
on TeePublic. You can still get the. I like it a little more than you do.
Brand
For
new.
the for the old heads.
What is the context on that one?
That's a good question. I think you know quite well.
So good.
All right, let's get into it. We
Wait,
got a
speaking
lot.
of merch, we match.
Oh.
You guys.
Comfortable hoodie, man.
It is.
I've been saying it.
It's my first time wearing it out of the house because I wear it around the house so much that it ends up in the laundry pile. But I ripped it right off the hanger today and said, I'm wearing this in studio today.
All right, let's get to it because the nature of a Monday night game for us is, let's be honest, we got to come up with some ideas to fill, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's a good conversation, a good show. You chance to lean back, but we don't get to talk about the game until Friday when the teams have practiced at least one time. And we got a nice elongated discussion here. The four of us, we like a four-hander. But let's start with the news from the NovaCare Complex yesterday, EJ. As you see there, the rundown, what we're going to talk about, Jalen Hurts replacing Jalen Carter, the matchup between Vic and Jim Harbaugh, of course, the Eagles offense against the Chargers D, and of course, we've got Swooper coming up. But let's start with what happened at the NovaCare Complex yesterday and what Jalen Hurts had to say, EJ.
Yeah, I found two things from Jalen Hurts' press conference noteworthy. The first one is that he said he spent the extended break really going through past seasons, and he says that that's a normal part of his process. It wasn't like soul searching per se, but I did find it interesting. He talked about going back and watching a ton of different things, years, games from this season and past seasons to kind of pinpoint the rhythm and the sequencing and what's worked for them in the past and what's not working for them this season. And he went on to talk about the opportunity that they have in front of them. But I found that noteworthy because you think about the different iterations of the Eagles offense in past years, some of the missing elements that we have talked about this year, whether it's the RPO game or a quarterback inclusive run game. And I do wonder what changes will happen with the offense. I think everybody does. And I think that is maybe a hint toward maybe getting back to some of the things that they do well.
What do you think about that? You look skeptical.
I look how I feel. I definitely feel skeptical. It's hard not to when it comes to the Eagles offense in 2025. I hope I'm wrong about it, but That's just how I feel about this guy. I don't know how much is going to drastically change. It is entirely possible that they are able to get out of this rut by, A.J. Brown, going up and over defensive backs, and Devontae Smith or Saquon Barkley, Dallas Goedert, those guys just making plays. But in terms of what is sustainable, I don't know that there are going to be sustainable changes made to this group in a way that matters down the stretch.
I have to veer off topic for a minute because I have some breaking news for the professor. And we need his reaction live.
Uh-oh.
The Turkey playoff group.
Oh, yes.
Drawn
Okay.
into Group D with the United States.
Oh, wow. How about that?
fun.
God, we got your sides ripping
How
against
about
each
that?
other here.
I don't feel great about that.
I mean,
for
that's
the
a pretty
US.
easy one for me, but yeah.
Where do your allegiances lie?
I've never supported the U.S. in any international sports.
How do you feel about a potential Turkey-U.S. meeting, though? I mean, as a supporter of the U.S. men's national team, I don't feel great about
You
that.
still got the
And
Tunchai over there?
I don't think you should. Tunjai is 50 years old now. I think we'd be fine.
Yeah, Turkey are good.
Yeah, a lot of supporters too.
Some good young players on that team whose names I will not pronounce in front of Deniz because it will probably upset him.
Yeah, no, this is probably our most talented national team we've ever had.
Really?
It's just that they're not quite as a team as the 2002 team was. The 2002 team was very Galatasaray heavy. They all played together at the club level for many years and had won the UEFA Cup together. And so just adding a couple of guys to that, we got to the semis. That's the last time we were in the World Cup. So,
really?
yeah, which was just kind of crazy. We first have to win the playoffs, by the way. They have to beat Romania.
Long way to go.
And probably Slovakia before we get there. But thanks for that news, though.
There you go.
Good to get that live.
Maybe Tunchai will come back.
I thought the draw would be over by the time the show started, since it
Definitely
started 7 hours ago, but I guess not.
All right, let's get back to it. As for what Jaelan said about the running,
Yes.
this is number 2 here.
Yeah, so Jaelan was asked about reports that he is the reason, or that it is his lack of willingness to run that is contributing to the lack of design quarterback run games that run, the lack of the quarterback inclusive run game that we have seen in years past. He says he first was curious where the question was coming from and what the report was, but then he went on to say, I've always been focused on doing what it takes to win. I've always put my energy on trying to bring the game plan and the strategy that week to life. I'm going to continue to do that.
And Professor, it is not just the quarterback inclusive part of the designed running game that has disappeared, but lately he's also been scrambling less.
Yeah, I think we have a graphic for this, Lindsay, that shows Jalen's non-targets on dropbacks, and that's something that I've been talking about and we've been tracking on the show for a couple of years now. Friday's game against the Bears was the first time in Jalen Hurts' career that he threw the ball on every dropback. Not a single sack or scramble. It was the first time in his career in any game. And like you said, Bo, we've talked about the lack of designed run game. He's scrambling much less. It's around 5.5% since week 2. That was 9% in his career coming in. And it's also hard to not notice from that chart. If we could just look at the chart one more time, the blue is sacks. And if you look at that, the last 4 games are the lowest sack games. 2 of them, no sacks at all. The lowest 4 sack games since the are the 4 since the bye. And it makes you wonder, was that a focus during the bye? Hey, let's Fran's chuckling at the way I'm pronouncing
What
sacks.
else is the offense
perhaps.
look like in the last 4 weeks?
I see. Yeah. In terms of focusing on being risk averse and avoiding turnovers, did they really sit down at the bye and say we also have to avoid sacks? It's how risk averse can you be, right? And it's not just looking at the numbers. The film says the same thing. We spent all this time on the show talking about all the chipping against the Dallas Cowboys, who don't even have good edge rushers. They chipped 13 times on Jordan Mailata's side. It's not just that Lane Johnson's out. So it's a disturbing trend to see that they're being even more careful about things. And we're talking about Jaelan unleashing it and running and all these things. And it's meanwhile, we're seeing seemingly an approach that involves being even more careful. I don't know. I don't know what to think about it.
When you watch it, do you feel like that is by offensive design, or does it look to you like it is Jaelan making these decisions?
That's tough to say.
Yeah.
But the chipping was definitely.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, that was certainly
Especially
something
because
that was
at the podium, Jaelan was curious why that question was being asked to him. He seemed like, where is this coming from?
Do you mind, for the listeners who are not familiar, and specifically for those of us up here who don't understand football, what is chipping?
By the way, I just want to say about that, I just wanted to thank everybody who said nice things about me after that, and I really appreciate those people. I don't want my silence on the topic to seem like I don't want to acknowledge all the nice people. So that's all.
I mean, you do like football.
But I like football.
I like football. Chipping, meaning using the running backs and tight ends to help block the edge rushers, help the offensive tackles, so block like the outside half of the edge rushers. That's not something that the Eagles have done at a high rate at all, and it was especially noticeable in that Dallas game how often they did it, but they've been doing it at an increased rate over the last month, since the bye week.
And we've talked all year about how they're keeping more people in to protect than ever before in the Jalen Hurts
and just
era.
So you know, the running back is the person who gets the ball handed to him behind the line of scrimmage.
And I've heard he doesn't really matter. Yeah.
I don't think it needs to be all show, but
half the show. I
just think we need to lean into it a little bit. Okay, so my thought here is, yes, the absence of Jaelan as a runner has affected the offense, but I feel like it is a little bit of a misdirect. Like, it is not really the only thing wrong with the offense. You know what I mean? Like, the fact that they're not designing more Jaelan runs and what would really be realistically like 4 extra plays a game is not, the reason that they can't throw the ball.
Yeah, I think I completely agree. I think that it is it is symptomatic of how many things they've taken away from this offense.
Yeah, that's true.
How much they've pared this offense down, and it seems like they're at a point where it's gone too far. Well, I mean, it doesn't seem. They have gotten to a point now where the offense has become so rudimentary, and I don't know. Maybe I overstate because I spent years hearing running backs talk about how important it was that Jaelan was part of the run game. I do think that it is a contributing factor to where they are in the run game. And the thing I wanted to say about it is the last few weeks, you've kind of heard hints, Fran, your skepticism with what I said earlier about, Jalen Hurts hinting at some of the things that they did before with sequencing and timing. We've heard hints that the quarterback run game is coming. It's something that maybe they save for later in the year, something that they're excited to integrate more, but we haven't seen it. And it's harder to believe that it's something they're going to embrace. So
seen a couple of good draws the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, they had the one against the Bears, the quarterback draw that set up the scoring drive, and that is like an example of why it feels like it should be a bigger part of what they do. I wonder if maybe as the stakes rise, they start to be more willing to do it. But again, it's kind of been waiting for that for a month now.
And don't forget, half of the offense was running quarterback draw on the 2-point conversion as well. So, that should count as a half draw.
Maybe. We should ask someone who covers the sport full time how they feel about it. No, I think that when I look at it, I've been thinking about this offense a lot this week, and just kind of.
Sorry to hear that.
Offense is when the team that has the ball.
So when this team, when I think about this group, and the evolution from 2024 to what we've seen so far this year, it does start with their inability to run the football.
Yeah.
Right. And that to me is the one thing where I look at it, I'm like, I don't know that that's going to change. And so, all right, if that doesn't change, what does that mean for everybody else? And one of the big things that we've talked about when you don't have it's not even just how many carries Jalen Hurts has, it's how often do they call concepts where he could keep it, and does the defense respect his ability to keep it? And the fact that we have seen over the last few weeks, they're doing a little bit more in terms of the potentially the option run game and more RPOs, but them scaling that back as much as they did this year has caused defenses to key in more on Barkley and more on the run game. And if the offensive line is not as good, all of these things kind of stack on top of each other. The pass game, as we've talked about, the frustrations with the pass game, they've been the frustrations with the pass game over the last few years. That hasn't changed. That's the only aspect of the offense that hasn't changed. It's just that it's more in the spotlight now because all those other areas are taken away.
Can I just say, I want to introduce a both things can be true here, because I think that, let's say that it is a Jalen Hurts or maybe an organizational decision that he's not as big of a part of the run game. I think, especially right after, with the Bears game as an example, there are different levers you can pull to open up the run game and keep safeties from flowing down into the box and selling out to stop the run game that the Eagles have. So it is like, it's kind of like the coaching staff can also be culpable here, but they do have answers that we've seen them use in the past that they're not using in this season.
I think part of what happened too is like the under center stuff, the more like Calcaterra blocking on counter, like those kinds of things were like, they were just going so badly that this last game against the Bears, I mean, we saw like there weren't that many runs, but most of the runs were out of the shotgun with Jaelan at least sort of pretending to read. Like there's usually a tight end blocking the backside edge. That's been the case really since Jaelan got hurt in Chicago. Like 21, half of 22, they were running true zone read, where there was no one blocking the backside edge and Jaelan was just reading him. It was interesting watching Chargers film this week, like because the Chargers do that, like the Chargers still do that, like where they really don't block the backside edge at all, and Herbert just reads him, and it was like, oh, this is what the Eagles used to look like, right? Like, but that hasn't been the case really since the end of 22. So now then the question becomes like, do you have something where Jaelan is reading at least like the scraper coming over the edge, like that kind of thing. We did see that against the Bears. Like, so, and there was a stretch of like 3 runs out of no huddle where like that's what it was. And there were almost none of the under center, like, Calcaterra on the field, like type stuff. So maybe a sign. Also, like talking about things where he can read. I mean, the RPOs, the first 6 drives, the Eagles had 2 successful plays in the passing game, and they were both RPOs. They were the curl flat RPO that we've seen since 21, and then the variation where he threw it to Devontae Smith, like on that slide RPO. I mean, it's a little disturbing that like the stuff that's working is the old stuff. Like only the old stuff is working, but you can't build the whole thing out of it. Like they kind of tried that in 23 and it didn't work. So the question is like, how do you,
but don't you think they are in such a bad place right now that maybe they should just only use the old stuff and hope to be average? Because at least they know how to run the old stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying like let's just run Hank every play, but like.
Honestly, I think this Bears game basically that's kind of what it was. Like it was a lot of like Hank on one side, slant flat on one side, spacing on the other. It was a lot of like those RPOs that worked.
And then they came out in the third quarter with the 2 backs. It's like, oh, we're gonna introduce a wrinkle, and it went terrible.
There was that like 3-game stretch where they did all the under center stuff, and they just went away from it. Like every under center play action play is a disaster now. Like the one that Fran broke down on the dagger, like is a great example of Jalen's not comfortable with it. Like he's like starting to throw the ball like 3 seconds too early on the play. Like it's like, I think the coaches are thinking like, okay, that stuff's not working. What do we do? I don't know, friend, if you have solutions.
That's why when I hear them say like, we're going to not turn over a new leaf, but we're going to try some new things. I don't know what's left because they dipped into all these other areas. They've constantly shifted and changed what their priorities are in terms of what their identity could be with this passing game this year. There's only so many ways you can utilize 5 eligible receivers, and they've tried all these different things.
Or 4.
3 maybe.
You can go pure quick game. You can start doing. They're not doing the intermediate stuff. That maybe that's what it is. Is like finally they're going to start attacking the intermediate area of the field, but I don't know. I'm out of answers for what I think they could try and evolve into. It's a tough group to talk about.
This has to be messing up like everybody's approach to work, right? Like, I mean, like Nick was on WIP on Tuesday, and he said, I wrote this down because I was like, that's a disturbing quote. He said, "We're working like crazy to get things going the right way. It hasn't happened yet." And I was just thinking, like, and Jaelan said similar things, like every week. And it's like, if the 2 main faces of the team are like repeatedly saying they're trying to find their identity and find the right path, and it hasn't happened, like, I'm not sure how that would affect the rest of the group, right? Like on both sides of the ball, like whether it be assistant coaches, players, like basically everybody, when you're not sure if the head guys will ever figure out the right path, right? Like if I'm working on a ship and I think the captain is like heading us towards an iceberg or like we're going the wrong direction and we're all going to starve to death, like, I might try harder at sweeping the deck or whatever the hell my job is. Like, you know what I mean? It's like like even if you're not on the offense, you would be like, these guys aren't gonna. Yeah. And I've heard more and more defensive players are starting to talk about the offense too, like whether they're asked about it or not. Yeah. Not in a finger pointing way, but like, I'm sure they're gonna figure it.
That's a very human thing. I'm sure that there are people. Yes.
Like BG was talking to you about the team, and he was like, oh, they're gonna figure it out on offense, and it's like you didn't ask him about the offense. You know what I mean? Like it's like like at times I'm thinking like,
how do you guard against like having that tension between the defense and the offense? And he said, well, it's up to the leaders, but like that stuff is said. Like you have to jump on it when it's said, but that stuff is being said.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, how can it not be?
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of the defense, let's break down this matchup, the Eagles defense against the Chargers offense, on the other side of this break as we hear from some sponsors. Got that leaky faucet you've been ignoring since the summer? Or maybe your heater's acting up now that it's getting a little bit cold outside? Ace Hardware Home Services has the pro for that. And they also have good people to send you meat pics. EJ talks about it all the time, his best friend, Ace Hardware. But they've also got more than that. At Ace Hardware Home Services, they're bringing helpful home, the helpful you love from the store, now to your front door. From Philly to the Jersey Shore, they're not just the helpful hardware folks, they're also the helpful home service and repair folks. From furnaces and boilers to electrical and plumbing, they've got trusted pros to keep your home cozy all season long. And when the temperatures drop, having your heat running strong isn't just nice, it is a necessity. So let the Ace Hardware Home Services people get it done right the first time. Visit acehardwarehomeservices.com to get started on your next project.
If you're a last-minute shopper like me, you know the feeling. Shelves are empty, the crowds are picking up, and the ideas are running low. That's where Aura Frames comes in clutch with a gift that feels personal. Whether it's the hard-to-shop-for dad or the special someone in your life with picky taste, Aura Frames can give you the peace of mind to avoid those Christmas Eve shopping runs. You can share photos and videos effortlessly straight from your phone all year long. Just download the Aura app and connect to Wi-Fi. Remember, you can't wrap togetherness, but you can frame it. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver Mat frames that named #1 by Wirecutter by using promo code PHLY at checkout. That's auraframes.com, promo code PHLY. And remember, this deal is exclusive to our listeners and frames sell out fast. So order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, we're back on the PHLY Eagles podcast, and this is a fun matchup that I feel like we haven't talked about quite enough. It's the first time that Jim Harbaugh and Vic Fangio are going up against each other since they were together in San Francisco. How do you expect this matchup to? What are the fun X's and O nerdy things going on here?
It's thrown a little bit out of whack for a couple different reasons, mainly like injury-wise.
We're not even 100% sure who's going to play quarterback. Yeah.
Well, that's a big part of it. And even if Justin Herbert is in there, what is the look of this offense? How does it change? Because as Deniz pointed out earlier this week on social channels, because he does like football, that Justin Herbert, after the hand injury in the first quarter, did not once go under center. This is a team that does like to go under center. This is a team that runs a lot of play action. I'm pretty sure they're fifth in the NFL right now in play action rate, and most of their effective play action has come with him working from under center as opposed to the gun. And so if they're not able to do that at a high level, how does that impact the game? We can get into like the run game stuff of it, but it is a fun matchup. Harbaugh.
Are you a little bit curious about Greg Roman putting together like a Trey Lance specific quarterback run game plan?
Yeah, that could be fun. From an X and O standpoint, that could be very fun. Yeah, a little different.
Vic Fangio did mention the usage of pistol formations as a possibility with Justin Herbert's hand, and said that like defending. I mean, I'll trust the two football likers here, but said that defending pistol formations is not that different than under center. I feel like
pistol is. It's like a half shotgun.
Why are you looking at me? You should be looking at the football liker.
It's when you
over
bring
here.
A gun to the field and shoot the other team.
What movie is that? Last Boy Scout? Never seen that?
I think Fran and I want to get out of this conversation as quickly as we can.
To follow up on what Fangio said about the pistol, I'm probably the only one here who watched the Greg Roman press conference this week.
Yeah.
Okay. He said that you can still run a lot of the offense out of pistol and out of shotgun. He said the I formation was really the only thing that they can't do, that they like to do normally, that you have to scrap completely. And then Jim Harbaugh said that there may be some short yardage situations where they want to run some of those things. Well, they will bring Trey Lance into the game just to hand off. So we could see a lot of Trey Lance in short yardage situations just so they can run some of their under center runs. So they normally only play 4% pistol, which is like upper half of the league, but 4% is not very much. That's like 2 to 3 plays a game.
And they're about 30%
so they would
under
have
center?
They would have to, under center, they are normally around 30%. which ranks 21st, but still, that's a lot. I mean,
Yeah,
and
it's a third of the
situationally,
offense.
it's 30% of all plays, but situationally, there are certain plays that they always ran from under center that even in this last game, they said that, for example, there was one play that they had to run that they were supposed to run out of pistol, and Greg Roman said that they got it crossed up and they ran it out of shotgun, and it didn't work at all for that reason. And it's because it's a play call that's normally under center. And so, but with a full week to get all that stuff sorted out, I don't think that'll be a major issue.
Now up front, Fran, this offensive line has dealt with a lot of injuries.
Yep.
But I mean, we saw the Eagles' defensive line get pushed around last week, and now they're going to be without Jalen Carter.
Yep.
How do you feel about this matchup?
It'll be interesting to see, because they've had to cycle in. They're on tackle like 4 and 5 right now, or 3 and 4 right now. So obviously they lose Rashawn Slater in the first week of the season. Joe Alt was hurt, then came back, then got hurt again. And then they trade for Trevor Penning from the Saints. They
Stinko
started him
Maia.
once. He was bad, so they sent him to the bench. He was the 6th offensive lineman, and he played a couple snaps in those jumbo packages last week. But what you're seeing now is Jamari Sawyer at left tackle, Trey Pipkins at right tackle. Both guys not necessarily like people movers off the ball, run game, probably more pass game focused. That said, like there are reps of Mekhi Becton like moving guys off the ball, and he's at right guard, and you can see the work that he can do at the point of attack. Bradley Bozeman is the center. He is more like, all right, I want to get hands on you and try and move you off the ball. He's not really athletic. He's not fast off the ball. Like there are things that he can do well. The athleticism portion of his game is not where he's going to stand out. So I think if you look at the interior 3, they're going to try and see if they can get some movement here against this Eagles defensive front without Jalen Carter. I look at it more like schematically. They're not a big motion team.
Okay.
So when you look at what do
Less
they
than
do?
less than the Eagles even.
Less than the Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
Wow.
part of that, there's different things that you can take away from that, because in the past they have been, Greg. You look at Greg Roman and Harbaugh, like they've been very good, like with motion and the use of that. So, maybe with if Trey Lance is in there, that becomes a bigger factor. But when I look at this.
Not another unscouted look.
The unscouted looks.
That would be tough.
That's not a Vic thing.
Vic's like never said that.
So right now, this Chargers run game, they are 4th in EPA per carry. They are 7th in success rate. So it's been a successful run game. They're 22nd in DVOA. I would imagine, Deniz, you think that's probably opponent driven?
Yeah, for sure. When you look at there is a discrepancy with both their offense and their defense between EPA per drive and DVOA, and I'm guessing that's mostly because I have 6th in success rate, 11th in EPA per rush, and yet 22nd in DVOA.
Yep.
So
Now, part of that could be because of the scrambles. So where you and I pulled the success rate and EPA stuff.
Probably different. Yeah,
scrambled a little bit because they've been Justin Herbert's been a really good scrambler this year.
Right.
That is something you have to take into account. When I look at this is very similar to
mine definitely does not include scrambles.
Yours does not.
No.
Mine might have included scrambles. Outside the tackle box, and we talked about this last week with Chicago, the difference between inside runs, they were not effective. Outside runs was their bread and butter, and that's where they gashed the Eagles. Was a lot of these like perimeter run plays, even the ones that cut back, they initially are outside runs. The Chargers are built the same way. They are 1st in EPA per carry on outside the tackle runs. They are 3rd in success rate outside the tackles. And that's where the Eagles have struggled over the course of this season. Since the bye week, they have allowed 3.7 yards per carry. That's 2nd fewest in the NFL. But outside the tackles, it's 5.9 yards per carry, 4th most during that span. The Chargers, they could potentially be getting Omarion Hampton back, their first-round pick. This is a guy that's got that ability to force missed tackles. But even with him out for the last couple months, they've gotten pretty good productivity from this run game, obviously. Kamani Vidal is a second-year back. And honestly, the Jared Patterson is cut from the same cloth. He's been their second ball carrier. Both guys undersized, shorter, kind of like grinded out, like force missed tackles, tough to get to the ground, good vision, going to keep you on schedule, but not like breakaway runners. And that's kind of what you're looking at with both those guys.
And a lot of their outside runs are those pin pull runs too.
Pulls,
it's not just outside zone.
sweeps.
They'll do the center guard pin pull. If you put a nose over the center, they'll just pull both guards. Then they'll do that, leaving the backside edge unblocked and having Herbert read him. So
Now, how do you feel about? I know you talked about it a little bit yesterday, but the defensive tackle depth right now. Do you think Byron Young is up to the task of getting on the field because he's been pushed around a little bit. I mean, I'm not going to go as far as Les did yesterday.
I'm about to say, Les really does not like Byron Young.
Ty Robinson can't get on the
He
field.
seems like such a nice guy. Like he's gone through
does,
so
yes.
much. Like what did he do to Les?
I just think Les, he's got a discerning eye.
Can we get Gabe Paul back in the mix?
I mean, or
EJ's
your
been on the Ty
rookie
Robinson
fourth-round
train.
pick. It would be
Yeah.
nice to see Ty Robinson.
Yeah, inactive for the last 4 games. He's clearly going to be active now.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm on the Ty Robinson train so much as what we've talked about on the show. Like he was supposed to be like a day one, plug and play type of prospect. He's not like theoretical high upside player. Yeah, it was that he could get on the field early. The fact that he hasn't. Yeah, I asked Vic about it, and he said possibly. So I don't know. Yeah.
He's played 35 snaps all year. I mean, he's not played a single snap in
how many snaps?
35 snaps all year.
I would have guessed the under. The fact that it's 35.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, he played 19.
He played 19.
It was against
in the blowout
Yeah.
loss to the Giants. He played 19 snaps because he was on the field for that last entire drive where they kept running it, like in
I don't
garbage
think he
time.
looked
So that's
bad in
like
that game either.
all of his.
I don't know. It's not like we.
I mean, it was like a blowout.
It's not like we've seen,
situation.
but the times we've seen him, whether it's training camp or in the limited sample size against the Giants in that game, again, an ugly game, but it's not like he's looked like a total liability or anything like that. So I don't know. It's surprising.
The Eagles' defense has been on the field 68 plays per game, which is 6 more per game than last year. In addition to that, they're playing a lot more base than last year. Like last year, they were playing nickel even against big personnel. This year, they've been playing base against big personnel 70% of the time, which is above league average, which means more snaps for the defensive tackles. Not only that, but there were 6 snaps of nickel last week, where Vic, one of the adjustments he made against some of the stuff the Bears were doing is he took Jaelan Phillips off the field because he was just like chasing motions and things like that, and replaced him with a third defensive tackle, which inflated the defensive tackle snaps even more over the 87 snaps, and so that's why we saw Byron Young out there for 38 snaps without Jalen Carter playing. And like, what's it going to look like? Just watch the second half last week. That's pretty much what it's going to look like. Jalen Carter was not out there for early downs in the second half, so he would come on third down. But he missed 26 snaps last week, which is way more than he normally misses. And it's not only because the game went long, it's because in terms of number of plays, it's also because they were managing him in the second half. Like he was not out there for first down or second down at all the entire second half. So that's what it's going to look like, and it didn't look pretty.
And do you think they're going to give Morrow the Jalen Carter treatment where he has to play 95% of the snaps?
That'd be my guess.
I mean,
Really?
right?
That'd be my guess.
Oh man.
Well, I mean, in what world? Like, what would make you think they're not going to do that?
I'm not saying I disagree with you. It just is daunting to think about.
Well,
and
Jalen Carter's missed games. We can just look at those, right? Against the Giants in Week 6, there were 69 snaps, and Moro Ojimo played on 62 of them. So yes,
Yeah.
It's like with a player like Jalen Carter, you understand it. He's a special
I agree with
player.
you.
And last year we talked about it. Like a tired Jalen Carter was still more dominant than a fresh defensive tackle in a rotation. Moro Ojimo, listen, I mean, nobody here has been more bullish on Moro Ojimo this season than me, but like he's not a player that you just want to like run into the ground. Like a tired Moro Ojimo versus a fresh Ty Robinson. I don't know.
I mean, they chose to do that over a fresh Moro Ojimo last year.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, you were making my point. I was waiting for you to argue against my argument here, but I just, if anything, like this should make them want to lean more into a rotation. But
you would think
it's not. Yeah, but it's not how. You're right.
Vic's
It's not how Vic's done it.
Like, I'm not going to go as far as less than either, but like Byron Young, you could tell who was the backup out there when Byron Young was out there, and also Jordan Davis. Sorry, but I didn't hear what you said. But given the look on your face, I'm thinking I'm glad I
would like to say Thomas Booker could come in handy right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, we're going to see him next week.
Yeah.
But
they needed Ja'Cory Bennett to.
I'm curious, Fran, if you would agree that Jordan Davis, he had a great game in like spurts in the last game. He made a few plays, but he seemed to be upright a little more than he normally is. Like he's out there for 59 snaps in that game, and like that's not something that you want.
I think those guys got worn down. Yeah, because they couldn't go off the field. Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. And I mean, look, you can blame the offense for the fact that they're out there for all those plays. But one thing to say about this defense, like this year, this defense in terms of consistency metrics has not been good. I mean, like they were third in series conversion rate allowed last year, meaning they were getting off the field at the third highest rate. They're down to 17th this year. Like this defense has not been good in terms of success rate. They're 15th in success rate, 17th in series conversion rate. Not terrible.
For the people out there who are not as familiar with series conversion rate.
So series conversion rate is when you have a first down, do you move the sticks?
And we have this graphic.
Or not, right? So like when you move the sticks, it is a series converted, regardless of which down it's converted on, whereas success rate is just like on a per play basis. And this is the first year. Well, I'll let you guys guess. When do you think the last time is that the Eagles allowed a higher series conversion rate than they got themselves on offense? Because this year, both the offense and the defense are below average in this metric. When do you think the last time is that the defense was worse at preventing the sticks from moving than the offense was at moving the sticks?
2023?
2020.
I mean, the fact that I would say the fact that you're asking means it's not 2020.
I feel like 2020 is a safe.
It is not 2020.
Wow.
2015,
14.
Keep going.
12.
Wow.
Keep going.
Bad Eagle seasons.
I mean, are we talking
I'll give you
like five?
Yes, Mike
Five.
McMahon. Look, 2005 is the last time that the fan experience of like you celebrate every first down, right? You like do the first down point. You're like, yes, fist bump. And when the defense gets off the field, you celebrate that. This is the first time in 20 years that the experience of watching the Eagles has involved fewer of those celebrations than the other team is getting. You know what I mean? Like overall for the whole game, which is crazy.
That's
Like the 2020 team was terrible, and yet like at this metric, like it was bad in loud explosives, things like that. But still, that team converted more first downs on a per series basis than they allowed. So that explains to some degree.
That's still the case.
Yeah.
So when you
no. This year is worse. I'm saying 2005 was the last time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this year the offense is converting 69%, which is really bad.
Nice.
Below 70 is really bad. Yeah, it's not nice, unfortunately. And then the defense is allowing like around 72, and that doesn't sound like a big difference, but that is a big difference. Like because the number of series you get, like that's a whole extra stop per game.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. Typically you get around 25, 26 series per game. So 3% worse is like one less that's converted. Think about like a key third down in the game where are you going to get the stop or not? Like it's like you're not getting that stop and the other team is. So
and just so you know, each team gets 10 yards that they have to get and get 4 downs to get it. And if they get 10 yards, then they get another first down.
I was going to say, it's really impressive that this guy understands so much about football because he also understands mathematics and game theory. Like, I didn't think you could know
And they're
both.
100 yards in the field.
They don't call him Wharton Boy for nothing.
And it's interesting because you would think that means you can only get like at max 10 first downs, but it's actually infinity first downs you could get based on penalties.
I am enjoying this. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, we got to take another break. We got a lot more to come on this episode. A little bit more on this side of the matchup before we flip it back to the depressing side of the ball on the Eagles offense. So the other day, Gianni Infantino invites me over, says he wants to watch the game, and I get there, and he just opens up his hand. He's like, how much money are you going to give me? It's like, okay, Gianni, like, I'm not here for the bribe. We know you love bribes. I'm just here to watch the game. It's like, all right, and he turns it on, and then it's just a total mess. Lagging, buffering, nonsense. I was like, all right. And I didn't really want to invite him back over to my house because I know that it's a better setup at my house. But reluctantly, I invited him over. And it was a total flex because I have Xfinity. And it was perfectly streaming. Xfinity is the ultimate sports destination. You can find the best games and your favorite teams all in one place. And the way that you watch is next level. You get the real-time notifications and live stats right on your TV. It's the best seat in the house. So next game day, make sure that big fan isn't a big fail. And learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multiview requires Xfinity 4K capable TV box.
This is about to be an all-time sports summer here in Philadelphia, really all over the country when you think about it. The World Cup is finally coming back to North America for the first time since 1994, but actually getting tickets to these games, that part can be pretty brutal. That's why the Game Time app is such a lifesaver. It gives the advantage back to fans with tickets to all of the matchups that you care about. Track price drops in real time, get alerts when seats open up, and grab tickets the moment they hit the app. And it's all backed by the Game Time guarantee. I've been scoping out Sixers tickets for the last few weeks, and I can assure you, Game Time is the best place to go for all those last-minute steals. Take the guesswork out of buying soccer tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code PHLY for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code PHLY for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket. Go download the Game Time app today.
All right, back on the PHLY Eagles podcast. EJ, we've got some news from the practice field.
Yes, our friend Dave Zangaro reports that Landon Dickerson was not at practice. Brett Toth took the reps with the first-team offensive line at left guard. Landon was not on the injury report yesterday. He talked in the locker room afterward.
Okay.
So, not sure what to make of that one quite yet, but definitely noteworthy.
Landon, I thought, looked really good like maybe 4 games ago, maybe 3 games ago. He's been awful the last 2 games. He's just been terrible. And I think it's worth saying that because it's like you see a play get blown up and it's like, man, who was that? And it's Landon a lot. And we know how good a player he is, so It has to be because of injury. And we've said this all year. So
we keep talking about Les, but Les shared a clip of Landon a couple of days ago. It might have been last week, and he said,
right.
Landon's out there running like me."
Like me, yeah.
I shouldn't
funny.
laugh, but it's funny. Yeah.
All right, very quickly to close the book on the other side of this matchup. You like a McConkey?
I do. Yeah, I mean he's a good player. And he's so they spread the ball around. I think a lot of people coming into the season, it was his second year. They kind of thought, all right, he's going to be the guy in the offense. They are.
Is this the best possible white-on-white matchup in the NFL right now?
In terms of athleticism,
But guys on the outside, or
athletic
skill players.
I mean, that's easy for sure. Actually, hold on, I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I think so.
Probably, right?
Yeah, Ladd McConkey versus Cooper DeJean. Yeah, I think so.
I mean, what was what's the one that gave you pause?
I was just thinking if there was another receiver.
Well, I mean, it's definitely Cooper DeJean.
Yeah, it's definitely Cooper DeJean. I was thinking if there was another receiver.
Is it more interesting if Christian McCaffrey is flexed out? But I feel like McConkey's got a little bit more juice at this point.
McCaffrey versus DeJean's interesting. I like that one.
That's interesting.
What if you made it offensive and defensive line as well? Are you doing an Aiden Hutchinson, Joe Alt maybe? Is Joe Alt the most athletic white tackle in the NFL?
I mean Lane.
Yeah,
Lane.
Yeah,
it's
obviously that's
Lane
bad work
Johnson
by me.
against Max Crosby would probably be.
Yeah.
But that's less. That's a little more power.
And it's also not as. Yeah, it's not as. Yeah.
I think Lane and Aiden Hutchinson. That's a
good one.
That's up there.
Yeah, but there are more white linemen. It's less of an interesting matchup.
less rare.
Yeah.
The Chargers have 4 players with at least 500 receiving yards this year.
Let's get there.
We have at least 4 white guys.
They have four players with at least 500 receiving yards this year. That's the most in the NFL. So you look at Ladd McConkey, he leads the way, but then you have Keenan Allen, Oronde Gadsden, and Quinton Johnson. All 4 of these guys have at least 500 yards this year. They spread the ball around. Talk about the injuries up front. This team is throwing everything at the wall in terms of all right, what can we do to try and continue to move the ball? They've had sustainable offense. Deniz has all these fancy numbers, and he did a great job in terms of pulling them all together, which is impressive considering he doesn't do this full time.
We're just going to keep doing this.
But
And EJ thinks he's got better numbers than you.
Right, of course. They are 5th in the league in 21 personnel. They are 3rd in the league in 22 personnel. They lead the league in 10 personnel. They lead the league in 20 personnel. They are 5th in the league in 1 personnel. They are 10th in the league in 23 personnel. They all have all these different personnel groupings, and they say, all right, what are the different things that we can do to be able to throw out of this, to be able to run out of this? We talk about the play action. They go into the pistol, they go into the gun, and they find ways to be effective, stay on schedule. And then you have Justin Herbert, who is able to make some of these big explosive type of throws. It's not like the check downs to keep him on schedule. He is able to now pay off that the rest of the offense being on schedule with now getting you some of those explosive plays back. So it's a formidable group.
Yeah, the personnel diversity is really strange. Like someone in the league has to be first in 10 personnel and 20 personnel, but they're at like 6% 10 personnel and 4% 20 personnel, which is the highest numbers I remember ever seeing in any year from any team. Like that's 10% of the snaps where they don't have a tight end on the field.
Right.
No one else does more than like 3% of that. You know, like it's a weird approach.
So somebody on the Discord asked me, like, this was like mid-season, maybe like week 6, week 7, and was like, oh, like how come the Eagles don't run more 10 personnel? It was I think it was during the 12 personnel.
Remember
stuff.
Julio?
Yeah, it was like, oh, how come the Eagles don't just try and put all 4 receivers out there?
Yeah.
And I was like, honestly, like that happens a lot less than you think it does. Teams don't really do it. And I was like, there's only been 37 reps of it all season. And I looked and I was like, the Chargers
They're
done
all
30
the Chargers.
That's really weird. But this is the personnel variance there is very interesting.
Their target share, 70% of Herbert's targets go to wide receivers, and that is the most in the league. So they throw to wide receivers more than anyone else, in part perhaps because there's no tight end on the field so much of the time. That's really high. Like the second highest is Jacksonville at 66. So that's high. And then 15% of the targets are between the hashes, which is third most.
Yep.
And then where are you on Herbert?
He's a good player. Yeah, I mean, he's a good player. He's taken a beating this year. I've got some of the numbers there in terms of like sacks and pressure rate and QB hits and stuff like that. He's in the like top 5 in most of those things. So I think when you're looking at him, I mean, he can beat you inside structure. The way that he's able to manage the pocket and make throws to all 3 levels, really, really impressive. He's got, obviously, the arm talent is absolutely there. But then outside of structure, I mentioned that we talked about the scrambling earlier. He's doing that at a very high rate and at a very high clip this year in terms of his overall efficiency. When he does take off, he can make you pay with his legs. There was, so Robert Mays, I think going into last year, so the year 1 of this regime, talked about like what he would like to see from Justin Herbert. And I get this, the framing is funny, but I get it. He was like, I want him to play like 10% dumber in terms of like, don't be so careful with the ball, like because he was.
I'd like to see that from Jaelan.
No question. Yeah. It was like, hey, like I want you to risk to take more risk, and that's what you're seeing now with this version of Justin Herbert. This year is willing, and you saw it last year as well. He's testing tight windows. He's putting those guys in position where go make a tough throw over the middle, or go make a tough catch over the middle. So I think when you're looking at this offense, they can beat you in a lot of different ways.
It manifested itself, I thought, like in both directions on one of the early drives last week against the Raiders. Like he has 10 interceptions this year.
Yep.
Like, he's throwing interceptions. He has a rocket arm, obviously, and he trusts it a lot. And you see there was a play on a 3rd down where he threw like a dart on an out route to the wide side of the field where a lot of quarterbacks don't throw it, which is why Vic Fangio is playing Adoree Jackson out there, right? Because he knows like the wide side of the field, you're not going to get as many of those. But then on the same drive later, they get to the red zone. It's 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line. He throws that same out route to McConkey and it gets intercepted, right? Like, so that's going to be like an opportunity for the Eagles defense to get turnovers. Like he will.
EJ, how many turkeys on Marcus Epps starting?
Ooh, that's a good one. I would say 65, 70.
Okay. That's all right. I think I'm right.
I'd go higher.
All right, there we go. All right, we got to take one more break before we get going. We'll get more on the Eagles offense against the Chargers defense on the other side, and then Swooper comes after that.
You know that moment, the one when you realize you left your favorite sunglasses at the beach or on the roof of your car or at a gas station 3 states away. We've all been there. I know I've been there too. But then I found Shady Rays and it changed the game. These sunglasses are made for real life, seriously good looking, polarized, durable, and not stupidly expensive prices. And here's the wild part. If you lose or break them, even on day 1, Shady Rays will send you a brand new pair. No guilt trip, just replacements. So now I actually wear my sunglasses without fear. I can take them on hikes, I can take them to concerts, I can take them on the boat, I can leave them in the car, I can really do whatever. I can take them on vacation. And Shady Rays gives you the eyewear that has your back in those scenarios. We've teamed up with Shady Rays to bring you an exclusive offer. Head to shadyrays.com and use code PHLY for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself. The shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Next, let's talk about Factor. It's a service I've used personally even before joining the team here at PHLY because they offer chef-prepped, dietitian-approved meals and make it easy to stay on track and enjoy something comforting and delicious no matter how hectic the season gets. Factor has more variety and more meals. Choose from a wider selection of weekly meal options, including premium seafood choices like salmon and shrimp at no extra cost. Eat smart at factormeals.com/PHLY50 off and use code PHLY50 off to get 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's code PHLY50OFF at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box. Free breakfast for 1 year as well. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor. Offers only valid to new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase.
All right, we're back on the PHLY Eagles podcast. Here we are. Other side of the ball.
Yep.
Chargers defense. Also a little bit banged up, right? But what do you see?
It's a fun defense. They do a lot of... It's a very zone heavy, a lot of split safety, cover 4 early downs. When you get to third down, they get funky with like their front looks, and that's when they'll turn up the heat a little bit. But it's not a lot of blitz. It's not a lot of man until you get to third down with both aspects of it. They're top 5 in the league right now in 3-man rushes. They're top 5 in the league in sim pressures. So all those things that the Eagles had trouble with in the first half of the year that we talked about on a weekly basis, the Chargers do all of that really well. You get into all the numbers of like, all right, what are Jalen Hurts' numbers versus zone versus man? That comes into play in this conversation. What are Jalen Hurts' numbers throwing the ball against split safety defenses? They're not very good. Again, that's what the Chargers do very well. So
decent amount of disguise as well.
A lot of disguise.
Yeah.
I actually went through one exercise I went through last night as I was watching the Lions-Cowboys game. I just went through and I looked at all of the coverage rotations on third down. Just watch all these snaps, and they do a lot of like cool, funky coverages, and a lot of it, honestly, I wouldn't even say like we're like creative, like look how they rotated out into like this version of cover 2. But it was all right. They're going to show too high. They play so much too high that you think that it's going to be too high, but then they rotate out and it's cover 1 robber, and they're really aggressive, and you know there's a potential for an exchange blitz with that, right? So. They have a lot of hybrid bodies up front along the defensive line. A lot of guys, and they'll play a lot of the like 3 defensive end rush packages where you've got 3 potential rushers with 1 defensive tackle, and then one of those rushers drops out because they've got 3 athletic guys. So one of them will drop against the running back, and then Deion Henley blitzes or Derwin James.
People,
blitzes.
ball knowers love a Deion Henley.
I mean, he was on my team when we did the 32-team draft back in the summer. The reason why I won that exercise handily, by the way. So, but I think when you're looking at this defense. They prevent explosives. They don't give up deep balls often at all. The run defense has been below average to middling. So this should be a team that you should be
in run DVOA, right?
Yeah, and they've also faced a pretty easy slate of offenses. I mean, they're 7th in EPA per drive, but 15th in DVOA, and 25th in run DVOA.
So
where does Jesse Minter rank in the order of your favorite sons of guys who were on Chip Kelly's staff?
Okay. Trying to think of who I would have ahead of him. Any reason why I would not have him number 1?
I'm going Jake Stoutland, Jake Stoutland.
Yeah. I like a Jake Stoutland. Yeah.
Kyle Shermer.
Okay. Jesse Minter number 2. Okay.
Or Kyle Shermer's listening to the program. He's like,
offense.
wow.
Yeah, no offense. Yeah.
That's all I got so far. I don't know.
Yeah, that might be it.
I don't know the names of Phipps' children.
Yeah, I don't know, like Shea Tierney's kids or anything.
Yeah, does Ryan Day have a son? I don't know. Doris.
Yeah, they have children. Yes. I don't know where they.
Munn and Fry. And Satter.
That said, yeah, I mean this is a class.
Sunday was right there for me, and I didn't even land it.
Munn, yeah. But when I look at this defense and what they do well and some of the areas where they're weak, it matches up really well with this is what the Eagles offense can potentially do well and what they don't do well. So it's the movable force against the
immovable object.
Immovable object. Like it's one of those kind of deals here with this offense. Like what's going to give? I don't know. Like I just don't have a lot of faith in the Eagles, like to take advantage of some of these mismatches.
It really is alarming. It has to be alarming for people.
It hasn't even mattered.
Nobody is lower on the Eagles offense than you.
I'm trying to be
Nobody,
optimistic.
The
I
guy who
try.
watches the most all 22.
of Eagles like world has
That's
less
not
faith
true.
that they're going to get it
That's
turned
not
around than you do.
I don't know
That's not
about
true.
Eagles world. Maybe Eagles people who talk about the Eagles as much as we do. It is concerning though. You watch the film more than any of us, and
I'll get
no offense to
I'll get a
Deniz.
text from Fran, just like I'm like in the middle of class, like on a Tuesday, and it'll be like, this offense is so cooked. Like, it's like,
Put me out there.
Yeah, it was
Always on the record. Always on the record.
You basically said it on the show.
I did.
So this isn't the week.
But I'm just like, oh, Fran's watching the film. Like, can't wait to get to it later. But
So this isn't the week that the Eagles run game takes advantage of
It could, yeah.
of
They
shaky
absolutely
run
can.
defense.
It's not a good run defense, so they could.
Yeah, but I
Go
said
ahead,
earlier in the
Phil,
week
talk
that
about
we've
it.
been saying this for like a couple weeks now, that it's just, this is a run defense that you could get back on track against, and that hasn't happened.
So I said on Monday's show, it was like, all right, well, like, they had some successful runs early in that game against the Chicago Bears. And one of my biggest nitpicks from that game plan, and honestly, like when I look over the course of the season and we talk about the difference between play calling and play design and differentiating and like roles of Kevin Patullo and the structure of the offense and what we see on Sundays, this was the one where I'm like, man, like the sequencing wasn't great. Like they could have leaned more into the run game. And so when I hear Jalen Hurts yesterday talk about sequencing and things like that, I'm like, okay, maybe part of the conversation was, hey, we had some success running the football. If we do have success here against the Chargers, against a similar kind of run defense that we should be able to move the ball on the ground against, can we stick with it more? Maybe that's the case.
I was so frustrated just in the first quarter of that game. Like the very first play is an under center run for 5 yards. And then the very next play, they line up an empty. And it's just like, all right, I know you want to get to the empty or whatever, but you just, got them to think like, okay, under center run, like do something that marries off of that. It's a false start. They end up getting a first down on the next play. Next play, pistol run for 5 yards. Very next play, empty again. Like it's like you just had 2 successful first down runs, and you're just insisting on not continuing to use that run threat as a threat in the passing game. We've said it so many times, but still, like 30th in play action, 30th in under center play action. This is just usage, and they've been bad at it when they've done it. So I don't know if that's why they're not doing it, but it's
Play
really
action is
frustrating.
the thing where you sort of kind of try to trick the defense. You pretend to hand it off or pitch it to the
It's
running
not
back.
just me. A lot of Eagles fans might not know what play action is.
That was good. Here's the thing. So I'm slowly teaching Francis different things to look for in games. And one of the first things is if they fake the ball like they're going to run it and then they throw it, it's play action. So he's now pointing out it's the Leo meme getting up play action. But it only happens when we're watching other offenses. It only happens when we're watching other offenses. And when Meg is sitting there what is he talking about? We've been together for how many years? He never showed me any of this. But yeah, that's very funny.
A friend asked me the other day at dinner, I was very proud of this. He was like, is there the opposite of play action where you fake a pass and you hand it off? And I was like, you want to watch the Bears film with me?
Yeah,
there was a lot of that.
Just pull some clips of the Eagles 3rd and 15 plus.
There you go.
All right. So any trouble spots? What are you worried about aside from this is probably how we don't want them to operate. We want them to just go out there and beat up whoever it is. But who are they worried about? In putting the game plan together.
Up front, I think you worry about Tuli Tuipulotu, Marlon's little brother. I think when you're looking
Respect.
at Tuli, I think he got double-digit sacks this past week, and he's been gradually more productive every
Now, they
season.
did just play the Raiders. I think everyone who's played the Raiders has double-digit sacks
I think that's
at
probably
this
fair.
point. Yeah.
But I mentioned before, one of the things that they do really well
So you
is
tackle the
they-
quarterback before he gets rid of the ball.
right behind the line of scrimmage. When you're looking at this front,
Unless
again,
it was a
they-
designed run. But I'm not supposed to know that. Sorry.
when you look at this group, when they get to third down, that's where they get into some of these unique looks. Sometimes they go sprinkle a little sugar on the A gaps, and you have 2 guys standing up over the center. Sometimes it's the tilted fronts that I've talked about with the Eagles, where it's 3 guys to one side and someone on the other, and then they'll creep Deion Henley up or Derwin James. They're not a heavy blitz team, but Henley will often be a blitzer, and they'll drop a defensive end out. They like bringing Derwin James, so I would expect to see a lot of those exchange pressures this week. So that would be something to be alert for.
And Derwin James, for people who know who Derwin James is the safety on the Chargers, he's basically just their nickel now.
Yeah.
He plays nickel all the time. They've got
Big nickel is their base.
Molden and Mickens out there at safety, and then Tony Jefferson rotated in last week. I guess he was playing more earlier in the
He's
year.
starting to play more because they traded Alohi Gilman or the trade deadline. So the guy they traded him for, Odafe Owe, he's like that third rusher that they'll play. So you have Tui Pelotu, you have Owe, and then they've got who's the former Kentucky rusher.
What's his name? Bud Dupree.
Bud Dupree.
Bud Dupree, right.
So you got Bud Dupree out there. You have Khalil Mack. So you have all these guys that that they use and they kind of cycle through. But it's a good group. Like I said, they big nickel is kind of their base defense, but they will also play.
We'll talk about it in overtime.
Thrown off because I was looking at this.
know. That's
you got to look at your computer
Lindsay
time.
is working on a clock that's like 45 seconds ahead of the clock we have
What the
down
hell's
here.
this
See,
clock
Wait,
then?
can't
Fresh
that
out-
clock be
It can
adjusted?
be. We just
It
haven't
can
done
be.
it.
It's just, we got a lot going on. Fresh out the host chair, I'm looking at Bo. I'm like, it's going. Overtime's coming up. We make a lot of eye contact on the show, like more than
Sensual.
more than is probably necessary.
It's important to make eye contact during
No,
the show.
it's when Fran talks because Fran talks to the camera. So we'll be looking at Fran, and then you and I just kind of go like this the whole time.
Is it? Are you uncomfortable with it?
No, I'm just I don't know, just noticing.
Okay.
They also just play a lot of dime as well. They're the second most dime behind only the Rams. The Rams live in their dime with 6 defensive backs on the field, so they will play a lot of dime, get a lot of speed out there with those light bodies up front. So that's where they can get creative. So in terms of what are the worry spots? Third down, that's a worry spot for me.
This Eagles offense seems to always play to whatever the defense they think is going to do, right? Rather than put them in certain situations. But this is a team that likes to stay in nickel against big personnel anyway. They're 23rd in how often they play base. Bears didn't play any base at all last week. And, it's not like the Eagles were doing anything really about that. So, I don't know.
Maybe that'll be good for the Eagles to not be trying to manipulate things with personnel groupings.
You would think so.
Just play the way you want to play.
Yeah. All right.
Friends
They do the opposite. They do the opposite. They're like, they're going to play this way. So.
No,
I didn't accuse you of that, did I?
Not accuse
no
me,
one's
but
too-
not too pessimistic,
Yeah.
but the most pessimistic. So now I'm a little self-conscious about being
No, I think
so pessimistic.
be your true self. I think you. Anybody up here, well, both of you guys, really. No offense to Bo, but you guys do the work. If you feel this way, you don't need to feel bad about it.
Well, I'll take some offense.
We also do the work, but it's different. You guys,
no
you know
offense
what I
to
mean.
you, but you guys do the work.
You know what I meant. You know what I meant.
I don't know what you meant. Let's check out the super chats that we have here. SRG says EJ needs to tell Bo what time it is.
That was very funny on the Tuesday mailbag.
Yeah, what was it? It was
He
I had to
also
tell
said-
somebody what time it's the
that
flight
was
attendant.
very funny.
Flight attendant. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That
Tell her
was
what
very
time
funny.
it is.
He also says, when will the server refill Deniz's water glass?
I was wondering the same thing. Yeah.
You have never, ever been more wrong than you were about that flight attendant.
Oh, come on. Nah.
Listen,
I've been more
you're-
wrong.
you're-
I've been more wrong.
He's been more wrong.
I will admit,
He was
I've
more
been
wrong on pretty much every mailbag he did with
No.
Shield.
I'm saying, I meant
no.
on this show.
Oh, yeah.
On this show, that
But
was
I
the
think
worst
that's
thing.
because of a lack of opportunity.
I mean, I did say that Dorian Thompson-Robinson deserved the third quarterback spot.
You said he was going to be a Pro Bowler.
no, but non-football
But yeah,
takes.
you were very wrong about the...
Non-football takes, EJ. I think it's a lack of opportunity.
I think I qualified it perfectly. If it was more serious, if there was something actually going on, then I am on the side of the flight
But
attendant and
the
the
whole
old guy.
point is you don't know.
Yeah, but
she said that there was an old guy who needed
but
that
she-
seat. You don't.
the
she's
way
not gonna
that the
explain
story
to
would-
you how serious it is.
I mean, I think that that's necessary if they're going to tell you. I think that they should have said it is serious, and that's why you need to move. Not he just is uncomfortable and wants to sit here.
But she doesn't owe him an
No,
explanation.
yeah, exactly.
She's in charge.
In fact, for his privacy, it might be better
well, hang
not
on.
to explain
if
what
If
it
the flight
is.
attendant, if the second flight attendant's in charge, then the first flight attendant's also in charge, and the first flight attendant
Yeah, and
told me to
things
sit there.
have changed since then.
Yeah, you
Didn't
don't.
change enough.
ridiculous.
Didn't change enough, in my opinion.
Absurd.
You know, when we did the poll,
Absolutely nonsense.
Not the poll on social media, the YouTube poll, it was split. So I represent maybe not the majority, but
Oh yeah,
I
we
would
know
say-
that. Yeah, internet polls definitely scientific.
well, I
yeah.
made sure to say no. It was the listeners. It was the listeners. It wasn't the people out in the interwebs. It's our beautiful community. I stand with you.
Outrageous. All right.
I think you're confused about who the listeners are, AJ.
No, I think
They're literally people on the internet.
it's a curated group.
I hear what you're
It's a
saying,
group
but-
that I respect. Yeah.
If you have been impressed with Lindsay as a producer, so far.
Be ready.
You're about to be blown away. But before we get to that, I'm going to tell you what happened in the last edition of Swooper as we entered with EJ and I being 2 points up on Fran. Fran had 3 items. The Eagles score more points against the Bears than the Cowboys score against the Chiefs. Did not happen. A kick hits a crossbar or an upright. Did not happen. The end zones are painted black. You paid 17 turkeys, and you got it. You had 1.
Wasn't worth it.
I had... Well,
It was.
Yeah,
it was.
got it.
You would have won.
Yeah.
You would have won the week.
EJ had the Eagles remain 100% of the season in touchdown rate and goal-to-go situations. Once again, you kept it, and you got it. The record for longest field goal in the NFL is broken this week. Did not happen. An Eagle offensive lineman is targeted on a pass. Did not happen. The Eagles offense has 2 above-average halves by EPA per drive. Did not happen. The Eagles have 0 turnovers for the game and have at least, doesn't matter, didn't happen. Braden Mann punts for more yards than Jalen Hurts throws for. Did happen, right? That was the other one that hit. I believe so. A kick or punt or kickoff hits an upright, crossbar, or pylon. Did not happen. And Saquon outrushes DeAndre Swift. Did not happen, so you had 2. I had a player with at least 5 career starts for the Eagles, records multiple PBUs, multiple TFLs, or an interception. Kevin Byard getting that done for me. An ex-Eagle has a longer play from scrimmage than Saquon Barkley's longest play from scrimmage. That happened as well with DeAndre Swift. The Eagles do not lose the turnover battle. Didn't happen. And the Eagles win by... What was, doesn't matter how many points because they lost the game.
Win, yeah.
So we both did 2. And so now you and I are at 4 5/6, 2.5 points up on Fran, who's stuck at 2 1/6. 2 1/3.
I've done some self-scouting.
Oh,
Okay.
Uh-oh. Mini buy?
Yeah, look, we're trying to figure out what's going on here. I have been so overly confident that this Eagles offense was going to get out of this rut. I go back and I look at all the items you can go back through Deniz's
there's a lot of like Saquon's
over 50, AJ over 50 yards, and like some of them it was like, oh, AJ had 48, or like, oh, like Saquon had 23 yards in the first half, like, oh, he's got it, and then he had 2 touches in the second half.
Look, the parallels between your Swooper season and the Eagles' offensive season. I mean, it's not just that you're putting your faith in them; it's that you're playing the game as if it's last year, like betting on Saquon, right? Like thinking that Saquon's going to bail them out, like all these things that we've talked about, and I think like the sooner that changes, the better it'll be.
That's why I had to go heavy on the black end zones last week. Another reason why I had to go heavy on the black end zones.
That's why you had to go paint the end zones.
What did you think of the game theory behind that? At what point is it too expensive to just get the 1 item to hit?
Well, EJ, you're not like, the old Birds with Friends listeners will know that this was an experiment that we did. I did the game will kick off at 1 p.m. as an item, and just to see how much they'll bid on it, and it was interesting to see. Like, it really depends on whether you think you can win that week. And the thing that I think Fran made a mistake with, and I think he's done this a few times, is just putting a lot of turkeys on an item in a week where he's not likely to win. Like, he doesn't have enough other items.
Like
the end zones were painted black, but what did it do for you?
Well, I did it early, and honestly, my
early
thought,
made sense.
I did it early, and yes, in the moment I was like, well, shit. But the problem was, he's got this godforsaken item that hits every week.
You would be.
I cannot believe you guys let him get that for 10 turkeys.
Yeah, but honestly, if the item, yes, rethinking it, that should have gone for more turkeys.
Now the Chargers are 3rd in the league at goal-to-go defense.
But so if the Eagles don't get there, it's 0%. It stays at 100. It's not like the Eagles have been hitting at 100.
It should have been at least like they get in, they have a goal-to-go situation, and they stay.
But that's happened every week.
No, there's been some where they've gone
where
0.
they just didn't have any attempts.
They never had
since that item.
Yes,
maybe once. I mean, it usually happens.
Maybe twice.
Okay, maybe twice. Sorry.
All right, and with that, it's time to start Swooper.
Oh.
Look at that! Lindsay. All right, I've got 18 turkeys. The order this week: me, Fran, EJ. Fran's got 33. EJ's got 24. There you've got the professor. We begin. Item number 1. Either team in this game scores a defense or special teams touchdown, and with this item, you get possession of the Cal Adamitis touch. What is the Cal Adamitis touch? The Cal Adamitis touch is essentially an opportunity for you to bet on another item hitting.
How many people know who Cal Adamitis is, by the way?
At any point, the owner may use the Cal Adamitis touch to double down on any sold item, not necessarily one that they purchased themselves. And you bet that item will hit, and this costs you no points. However, if that item you bet on hitting loses, you lose a point. So you got to make that gamble. Does that make sense? So, for instance, if Fran had paid for the end zones will be black last week, I could use the Cal Adamitis touch for no additional cost and say that item is going to hit. But if it doesn't hit, I lose a point.
You get a minus
instead of gaining a point.
I just laughed.
This is the Cal Adamitis touch.
Oh, that's even worse than the Cam Latu totem.
I'm joking. It's not a real thing.
Oh, I was going to say.
I had a dream last night that I was angry at
How
Swooper.
offended you were by that.
And I for some reason I was.
You had a dream you were angry at Swooper?
I had a dream we were sitting right here.
It's a nightmare.
And I got angry, and I was for some reason walking back into the studio with a glass of water, and somehow was able to throw the water in both of your faces. I don't know. I got wrong in some way, shape, or form in this dream. But
Man,
just
Swooper's
know
really haunting
it's
you,
coming.
Fran.
Is Charlie Hewlett still around the building?
I
Hugh,
saw him
let
like
the
a week or two
dogs
ago.
out.
Yeah.
Hugh.
He's
Hugh.
around.
Hugh.
Okay,
Hugh.
and he just knows he's going to stay on IR the rest of the year?
I mean-
Because Cal Adamitis, not only is he snapping it well, he's
Yeah.
making tackles on punts and
He's got
stuff.
good hair.
Good hair, yeah.
Seems like a good locker room presence.
Sure.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. We all understand the Cal Adamitis touch.
Yeah. So you get both. You don't
You
sacrifice.
get both. Yes.
All right.
All right. I'll start the bidding at 5.
6.
7. 7
8.
going once. Ooh. 9. 9 going once.
I love Deniz's professor desk. It's so good.
9 going twice. Sold.
Wait, Deniz is supposed to be the one that counts us down.
He can
Just
be.
moving forward. Yeah.
Sold for 9.
I'm happy to do that if you'd like.
All right.
You need a gavel.
Correct. Over to Fran.
Cut and dry here. The Eagles outgained the Chargers on the ground. So more rushing yards than the Chargers in this game. Obviously a lot of layers here. Neither run defense has been very good. Chargers run game has been better than the Eagles. Both units probably need the run game to be good to win this game. Start the bidding at 3.
4.
5.
5 going once. 5 going twice. Sold.
That's a pretty good buy. Why are you not bidding on that?
I don't like
for
its
him.
chances of hitting. I didn't think it was good value for 6. I don't know. Why didn't you bid on it?
I only have 9 turkeys.
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
I didn't like it either, but
Yeah.
it was a good buy at 5. I'll take it.
All
buy at
right. You guys ready?
Yes.
My first item is Jalen Hurts and Justin Herbert combined for more than 20 passing yards on plays from under center. So you're not feeling great
That's a good one.
about Justin Herbert under center, but it could happen.
Yeah.
And if it does happen, he is probably the more likely to have 20 or more passing yards from under center. But Jalen Hurts has done it. I had it here.
Is this net passing yards? Do sacks count as negative? Because the Eagles have been getting sacked on under center.
We're
play
going to say
action.
passing yards, not net. Not net,
Haven't
passing yards.
lately.
Yeah, well,
Just straight passing yards. Hurts has been over 15 passing yards from under center just 3 times this season, and really only over 20 twice.
Vikings and
I don't have it. I've got Herbert's in front of me. I don't
Okay, yeah,
have Hurts.
that's
Yeah,
okay.
Okay.
I'm going to start the bidding at 2,
3.
4.
You always sound so, there's like one item a week where you just sound so like smug and sure of yourself it's gonna hit. I don't know what it is.
I love
It's this
we
one.
just we don't get to see this side of Fran anywhere
say.
else. It's so lovely.
My absolute favorite thing about Fran joining PHLY, because we could enjoy Fran elsewhere before, but how much he loves Swooper.
Well, hate Swooper.
Combined with how poorly his
about
season is going. 4 going once. 4 going twice.
5.
5 going once.
You can have it for 5.
5 going twice. Sold to Fran.
Fran down to 23 turkeys.
All right. Is it my turn?
Wait, very quickly. Either one of them has to have over 20, or can they combine for over 20?
Combined.
Combined.
Yep.
Okay.
For more than
All
20.
right. So
But
it's not-
Herbert's not going
So
to
21.
Sure, but
line
just
up
to
under
say,
center.
21.
yeah.
And it has
More
to be
than
Herbert.
20,
It has to be
20.
Herbert. It can't be Trey Lance.
It cannot be Trey Lance.
Right. Okay. All right. So since I'm here, all of my auctions are going to be of the non-standard variety.
Love it.
Item number 4. This is going to be a Dutch auction. This is where I'm going to count down, and the first person to yell Swooper will win the item. And the item is, and I wanted to make this point about the Chargers offense against the Eagles defense. I saved it for Swooper. The Chargers rank 2nd in plays per drive in the NFL, and the Eagles defense is 28th in plays per drive allowed. A lot of people have been blaming the Eagles offense for the defense being out there so long, but plays per drive means that you have a chance to get off the field and you're not doing it. Obviously, they might be tired near the end of the game, whatever, but 6.4 is the Chargers number. 6.1 is the Eagles number. Okay? So the item is the Chargers will average fewer than 6 plays per offensive drive. So that would be going against the pattern of the season, where the Eagles defense would be better at getting off the field than they have been. The Chargers would be worse at leaving the field than they have been. Okay, so fewer than 6 plays per offensive drive. Okay, and this is going to be a Dutch auction. I'll start at 10 and count down.
Right, say
Okay.
Swooper out.
No, you say
You
Swooper.
just say Swooper
And to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. First person says Swooper, get it. Okay, I will start at 10. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4.
Swooper.
Okay. You were waiting for 3, EJ?
I was waiting for 3. I felt like 3 would have been good value.
I think 4 is a good deal.
4 is good value.
Yeah.
4 is good value.
Yeah, it's not that much lower than the average, Just like a good game by the defense should do it.
I'm down to 5.
The Eagles defense, by the way, 31st in forcing 3 and outs. I don't think enough is being made of that. How bad the offense has been at 3 and outs we've been discussing.
That's true.
What about the fact that the defense is 31st at forcing 3 and outs?
Yeah.
I mean, they're not getting off the field. So
That's true.
that's been a thing all year.
Yeah.
All right, item number 5. Tank Bigsby and Will Shipley combine for more snaps on offense than Saquon Barkley's longest play from scrimmage.
You're not going to arm us with information here?
I think we all know that Tank Bigsby in particular has not played as much as we kind of would hope or have expected. Will Shipley the same. And Saquon hasn't had a lot of big plays. So, I don't know, you're talking about probably 10 combined snaps last game? Probably a little bit more than that.
Tank Bigsby only had the 1. Yeah.
Yeah, probably lower than that last game.
Yeah. The
Shipley,
game before was a little
yeah,
bit.
Shipley
5,
had 4
so it was
and
5 combined.
Bigsby had 1.
Yep, 5
Okay.
combined snaps.
So you're betting on that changing in this
Shipley's
game.
have all been on 3rd down passing downs.
Yep.
I'll start the bidding at 1.
2.
2 going once. 2 going twice.
I mean, Saquon's banged up.
So
He's got it. Goodbye.
It's decent value for 2.
Don't patronize me.
No, I mean, it is.
Bought an item.
All right. Oh, it's
All right,
Fran.
mine-
It's
yeah,
Fran.
mine here.
Sorry.
All right, here we go.
Wouldn't be Swooper if I got the order right the
Right.
entire time.
Zack Baun has more total tackles than Arande Gatson has yards after the catch. And we're going to take the yards after the catch per PFF.
No.
People may remember, our viewers may remember that that was our big talking point with Arande Gatson, how he would catch the ball and just immediately fall down when he was at Syracuse. And so we're gonna lean into ZB's
why don't
favorite tight end.
why don't we use True Media?
It's all the same anyway.
They use
the same-
PFF,
yeah,
yeah.
they use PFF.
Oh, okay, it's the same. Yeah,
It's the same
okay.
number, yeah.
Yeah, okay, got it.
But we're going to look at it on True
You
Media.
can look at it on True
That's
Media.
fine. That's fine.
Right.
Same source. I was thinking next gen because theirs are actually different.
Right. We will start the bidding at 3.
Zack Baun,
4.
total tackle. All right, and then the assisted tackles counts here?
Yeah, total, because if you go to the
total. Right,
combined
okay.
tackles. Yep. You said 4, EJ?
Yeah.
5.
Going once. Sorry, I forgot.
can't bid.
Okay.
Going twice. Sold for 5.
You got that, EJ?
No, Fran
got
got
that.
it.
Fran got it.
All right. Fran's down to 16.
He's at 19 and 23 this season. And then the other games, he had 7, 3, and 5 yards after the catch. So it's a good one.
Okay. Over to you, EJ.
All right. My second one, a current or former Eagles specialist scores more than 9 points. So you get Jaelan, and it's
about doing something like
kicker, punter, and returners. And I wanted to, it's in there. But
Wait, what? How's the punter going to score points?
I mean, you never know. The returner must have at least one kick or punt return this season, but can score on offense for this item to hit as well.
Okay.
So you get Jahan Dotson.
Okay.
You get
Cooper DeJean. Although he hasn't
No,
done
he
one
hasn't
this
done it this
season.
year. Yeah.
Okay. Bigsby.
Wait, does he have to be a returner on a play in this game for it to count?
no. He can score on offense for it to count.
No,
Okay.
but does he have to be a returner
No.
in this
No,
game?
no.
If
He only
he
has to
has
have done
returned-
it at some point
Yeah.
for the Eagles.
Okay.
You also get
Wait, but you're saying you're saying former. So if Cameron Dicker counts, Cooper DeJean counts because he has done it.
Yeah.
No, the returner. The returner exception isn't the only exception.
Okay.
I don't think you don't get.
You think this was a
no.
realistic?
The reason for the footnote there is to you can't have Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. That's not fair.
The Chargers' special teams are terrible at everything other than kicking.
Has AJ Brown ever
field
caught a
goals.
punt?
No, Devontae
No,
has.
Devontae,
though.
Devontae has.
I feel like if Devontae gets 2 touchdowns, you should probably get it. But go ahead, it's fine.
I feel like Devontae gets. I feel like if it becomes too wide of a net, this is really just like an opportunity for us to point out that Cameron Dicker played for the Eagles. That was
Okay.
what I wanted to
Walter
go for.
Payton Man of the Year
Congrats.
honoree. No,
really?
Cameron Dicker, yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
Shout out to
Good for
Mr.
him.
Gonzalez.
He was nice to
Yeah,
cover.
Mr.
He was here for
Gonzalez.
8 days, but I enjoyed covering.
One of the best kickers in the league now.
Two former Ospreys Award presenters on the Chargers roster. Cameron Dicker and Benjamin Santa-Justo.
He actually plays. They have a rotation
I know,
there.
and he looks good. He does. He's looked good.
I'm going to start the bidding at 3.
No, this is more than 9 points.
More
Or is
than
it
9.
It's at least 9. More than 9.
More than
All
9.
right. You're starting it at 3.
And you're getting the graphic in the there's just outstanding work from Lindsay.
Yeah.
So good.
I thought you were going to say that I'm putting the producers through too much. When did you guys send your
No,
entries?
you're putting
by the way?
everybody through too much.
I mean,
7:30 this morning.
It's not the first time I've been accused of this.
Lindsay said she needed them early. She had another show to do today.
I sent
She
them early. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I probably didn't send them as early as you. Who was last, Lindsay?
Deniz.
Oh.
But you know what? We didn't pass along the note
Yeah,
to
it's
Daniel
true.
that he needed it early. Yeah.
yeah, I didn't know about early. Yeah. I'm a notorious kind of last second.
I wasn't that bad.
You know
though.
what it is? It's the days where I know I'm coming in. I kind of
Yeah,
almost
yeah,
forget
yeah,
I have to do
yeah.
it.
I was 10:20.
Okay.
This morning?
Yeah, is that bad?
I mean, I was last night when Lindsay
Wow.
said that she needed them.
I usually send them the night before if I'm not going to come in because I'm worried I'm just going to forget. But
3.
Ticker. Specialist kicker.
3 going once. 3 going twice.
4.
4 going once. 4 going twice. Sold to Fran.
I just
How
like.
many items
I
does
like.
Fran have?
I like
I
sticking
got
Fran.
5
I like
items.
sticking Fran with my items.
But like, why do you guys you submit these items that you don't think are going to hit?
I felt pretty good about it. I just thought it would be funny to stick it with you. Now it'll hit and you'll feel
So the
good.
Swooper lytics on how many of your items are hitting or not
bad,
are not
yeah.
good.
But I'm making an effort to make them more likely.
Yeah, clearly. You feel really good about this.
Wait, how
one
many?
hitting.
How many of mine hit last
It's
week?
like the Eagles doing more under center. Like you're making an effort, but it doesn't look good. You know,
You're good with the analogies with the Eagles season.
it's always to the Eagles' offense. It's easy. Good for something at least. All right, my turn, right?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if you guys are going to love this, hate this, how you're going to feel.
Oh, no.
This is a somewhat unusual one. I thought that it would be fun to root for. Out of the following options, there are going to be 6 options, okay?
Okay.
The most common number of yards gained on plays from scrimmage in the game will be, and the options are 5 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards, 8 yards, 9 yards, and 10 yards. Now, here's how this is going to work. The rights to each of the first 3 will be auctioned off separately in normal auctions. When you win one of them, you get to also choose one of the next 3. So, like, we're going to say, like, who wants 5 yards as the option.
Okay.
We're gonna
If you
bid on
win that, you get to choose whether you want 8, 9, or 10. Then we're going to have a separate auction for 6.
Okay, so you get 2.
So there are going to be, like, 3 total... There are 6 total
Right.
items, but they come
But
in
there'll be-
packages of
there'll be
2.
3
because I didn't want to
pairs.
have 6 separate auctions, right?
Okay.
Does it count for a
And then
point?
only one of them can hit, because whichever one's the most... Unless it's a tie, in which case we'll give points to both.
I like this.
Okay.
If it's a 2-way tie,
Do
3-way
you think
tie,
it should be
whatever.
half points if it's a tie?
Because they're separate items, we can go either way. Sure, they can be half points or third points or whatever, depending
Okay.
on what way tie it is.
Okay. Let's
Yeah.
do I'll do it. Let's do half points if
Okay,
it's a tie.
so everyone understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do the auction for 5-yard plays first. So meaning that like that will hit if there
Okay.
are more 5-yard plays than there are
Yeah.
6, 7, 8, 9, or 10-yard plays.
So it's not the most.
It's not the
just
total
more
of your
than-
2 either. It's like a 6-way
Right,
race between
right,
those
right.
6 numbers. Only the one with the most out of those 6 is going to.
Ooh, I like this.
is gonna
I like
get it.
this. The tiebreaker should be which of the 2 second numbers is higher.
I like that.
Tiebreaker.
Because
So
that's
it's
the
not
one you
tie.
chose.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Okay, that works.
Okay.
it's-
And then if that's a tie, we'll have.
Oh,
it.
if it's a tie between the 2.
If it's a tie between 2, then it goes to
got
whoever's second number is higher.
That
And
works.
just for clarity, it's the most common number from this selection.
Yes,
not the most
just
common
out of
number
these.
for
Yeah,
12 or
because there's so
something.
many like
Yeah.
1 and 2s.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
didn't want to. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So just normal auction for 5. Someone has to start the bidding.
1,
2, 3.
5,
6,
7,
8,
9.
10.
10 going once.
11. Wow. I thought about sticking Fran with it again.
11 going once.
You got it.
11 going twice. Sold to EJ. Okay, so EJ, out of 8, 9, and 10, which one would you like?
I should have done my research while I was bidding.
8, 9 plays, 9-yard plays, or 10-yard plays?
I'm thinking to take 8.
Okay, so 5 and 8 go to EJ. Now we're going to do an auction for 6-yard plays.
Okay, so EJ's down to 13 turkeys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, someone has to start the bidding on 6.
1,
2,
3,
4.
5.
5 going once.
6.
EJ can get the you can get the monopoly.
I was about to say, I could
Yeah.
monopolize this.
Yeah, yeah. 6 going once.
7. Francis would not be happy if I didn't do that.
Evren's 8th birthday party is tomorrow, and his cake is going to say 6, 7, ... 8!
Oh
Exclamation
man,
point.
I should do that for cake.
There it is.
Yeah,
great
it's a good.
Any
it's a good
8th
idea.
birthdays out there, there's an idea.
Yeah.
He can have it for 7.
7 going once, 7 going twice. Sold to Fran.
Down to 5 turkeys.
And what would you like? You have the 6-yard plays. Would you like the 9-yard plays or the 10-yard plays?
I'm going to take the 10-yard plays.
Okay, so 6 and 10
Okay.
go to Fran, and now we're going to do the auction for 7 and
Okay.
9-yard plays. Okay?
Okay.
Because those are the ones that are left. Someone start the bidding.
2,
4.
5.
6.
He's got
Sold. All right, so EJ, you have 5, 8, 7, and 9. Fran has 6 and 10. And again, it's not the combined; it's the one of those numbers is gonna be the winner. So
Okay.
it. EJ has 7 turkeys left. Yes. All right. Over to item number 9. Fran and I both have 5 turkeys left. EJ has 7. Mine's pretty down the middle. A Hail Mary is thrown in the game. Start the bidding at 1.
2.
2 going once, 2 going twice.
3. I don't really want that.
I mean, Eagles ball at the end of the first half. We know it's not going
I
to happen.
know.
What is it?
Seriously.
Did you say 3?
I said 3.
Okay, 3
I
going
wish that I
once,
didn't.
3 going twice. Sold. Oh, man.
I'm down to 2. That was a bad job by me.
All right.
Yep.
The Eagles have more sacks on defense than Alabama's margin of victory in the SEC
thought about
title
doing one
game
of these.
over Georgia. This is the 5th time that these two teams have played in the SEC title. Alabama is undefeated in these games. The last 11 matchups between these two teams, Georgia has lost every single one of them except the national title a couple years ago.
Wow.
So Alabama has dominated this rivalry in the last several years.
What's the line?
I want to say it is 4.
Okay.
Let's go to our friends at Bet365 real quick.
How many turkeys on UVA winning a playoff game, Fran?
1.
Yeah, not many.
Okay.
The Eagles have more sacks on defense than Alabama's margin of victory in the SEC title game.
Georgia is favored by 2.5. Interesting.
So, tight line.
Tight line.
All right.
We will start the bidding at 2.
I can't bid.
2 going once,
EJ, what are you doing?
2 going twice.
What are you doing, EJ?
Don't worry about what I'm doing.
Bid!
I don't want it.
Sold to Fran for 2.
What an unbelievable steal.
It's good value, but who's to say there won't be good value later too? Who's to say you don't want to save your turkeys?
He spent all his turkeys on 5-yard plays.
I did.
And 7-yard plays.
And 7 and 6
8 and 9 as
yeah,
well.
8 and 9. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got some options.
All right. Go ahead, EJ.
I thought it was Fran's turn.
He just went. Literally just went.
That IW sat out. That was when I was going.
I'm sorry. It's been a long week. My final item. One of the following things happens. Saquon Barkley surpasses 120 rushing yards. Tank Bigsby has double-digit rushing attempts. Jalen Hurts has double-digit rushing attempts. Or Saquon Barkley has one run go for 66 yards or more.
Why 66?
Are these all season
It'd
highs?
it'd be a season high for him. I'm going to start the bidding at 3.
All right, you got it.
Congrats. You got it.
All right, last one.
Let me just write down what those options were.
I could just send it to you if you want.
Okay.
Okay. Now, you guys know I've been doing these variations of the Eagles winning by a certain number of points based on the bidding. So I'm starting to run out of ideas, but I thought this one would be fun. The Eagles win by more points than the total number of turkeys bid on this item, which we've done before, but it's going to be a sequential, one-time bid only, all-pay auction. Okay, so everyone's going to pay whatever they say, but you're going to go in order. And the order is determined as follows. And I wrote this down before. Whoever won the very last item bids first. So that's EJ. The last player to win an item before that bids second. That's Fran. And then the remaining player bids last. So, Bo, you get the last mover. I don't know if it's an advantage or not. Whatever number you say will be your final bid. So Bo can choose to win it if he wants. You know what I mean? As he goes last. And the total of the 3 bids is going to be the number that the Eagles have to win by. Okay, so even if you lose, your turkeys are going to at least making the item harder for the winner. Okay? So, I mean, you could say 0, but if you say 0, then the last person will just get it for 1, and you know what I mean? And then any kind of Eagles win will do it. So that's the idea. So, and obviously you can borrow turkeys from next week. So EJ, you're on the clock. You get to submit your bid.
Fran is unreadable right now too. I really need Fran. We either need to work together here,
and you don't have to submit a winning bid either. You could bid you could submit a intentionally losing bid is also fine because those turkeys go towards making the item less likely to hit for the winner. So you don't have to.
And you can borrow.
You don't have to outbid, and you can borrow. Yeah.
I'm gonna go 0.
The one thing I'll say is you cannot bid the same thing as the top bid because I don't want to deal with rules about ties.
Yeah.
So.
I'm going 0.
Okay, EJ is bidding 0.
Got to protect the turkeys.
So this item has just gotten more valuable because we have a 0 bid.
I'm going to go 0.
Fran's also going to go 0.
Wow.
Bo, I assume you're going to go 1?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so if the Eagles win by more than 1 point, Bo gets the item. Wow, I'm surprised you guys.
Would you have gone 0 if I didn't go 0?
Yes, because Bo's
Is it win by more or 1 is fine?
By more than 1.
Oh, so 1 point win doesn't get it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bo's items are a Hail Mary and a defensive or special teams touchdown, and the Chargers.
Oh, you were okay with Bo getting it?
Giving
I was
him
okay with Bo
a
getting this.
50% chance to get it. You know, I did think during this, if I would kept track of who had what, I would feel more confident in my decision to go 0.
Can't keep track of that on your fancy little advocacy.
Yeah, you need some of the rows down there. You could go for that. Like how many items each person has won.
I think Fran's strategy was the right one. So it seems like I came to the right conclusion, even though.
I'm not picking the Eagles to win the game.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, that comes into it as well. I didn't have a lot of faith in.
You know the John Daly meme with Tiger Woods, like the one guy is like all buttoned up and like professional, and the other guy's just kind of like a big slob, and he's just like dressed like a maniac. That's me and you, a Swooper. Like you take it so seriously, and I'm just over here just winging it.
Bo, it's December.
Yeah, right.
You know I've got playoff scenarios.
Go ahead.
All right. So the Eagles' magic number to win the NFC East is down to 3 with Dallas's loss yesterday. Any 3 wins by the Eagles plus Dallas losses out of the 9 games remaining will make the Eagles the first repeat NFC East champions in 20 years. And then to clinch the number 1 seed, the Eagles need the Bears to lose twice, the Rams to lose once, Seattle to lose once, Green Bay to lose once, and San Francisco to lose once. And San Francisco's got some easy games. So that's all the stuff that has to happen for the 1 seed. I think if the Eagles win out, I think that stuff is more likely to happen than not. So, you know, the 1 seed is still there. Fran's looking at me like, this team's never going to win a game again.
If I had wheels, I'd be a bike.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Spicy Fran today.
There's some easy games coming up, Fran. There's the Raiders. There's Washington twice.
I didn't say that. Yeah.
Okay.
Washington twice doesn't feel easy to me. I don't know. It feels like this, like a lock to be a split.
There is also one situation where the Eagles and Bears could finish in a tie, and the Eagles would still get the 1 seed, and that would involve a 3-way tie with Seattle, in which Seattle loses to the Colts, the Bears losses to an NFC team. That would mean a 3-way tie, which would go to conference record, which would also be tied, which would then go to strength of victory, which the Eagles would win. So that's the one scenario in which the Bears would not have to lose twice.
The Eagles are a terrible team right now, playing some of the worst football I've ever seen in my life. There's absolutely no reason to believe they're going to go to LA and win this game. But I will be using the Carolina minus touch on the Eagles winning by more than 1 point.
So you're doubling down.
I'm doubling down.
Oh, you can double down on your own.
I can double down on my own. I'm doubling down on the Eagles to win this game. Go Birds, baby!
Will you give back a
It
go
would have been
Birds?
great if you had stolen the 5 yards from EJ. Like that would have
Well, I
been.
thought about it.
But then you don't want to lose the point.
Yeah, I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to risk a point on that.
Yeah.
Oh, right. That's right.
This game features the 2
Smart.
head coaches
move.
out of all people still alive in the world with the best winning percentage.
Yeah.
Sirianni is 5th out of all people, including dead guys. And Jim Harbaugh is 7th out of all people, including dead guys. But they are the only 2 out of the
third among
top
living
9
guys?
who are dead. Matt LaFleur is 10th overall.
Okay.
He is still alive.
That'll
At
do it
least as
for
of the start of the show.
We can wrap it up. The Swooper. Thank
This
you,
was
Lindsay.
great. Yeah. Shout out to Lindsay.
Give it up for
Unbelievable.
Lindsay.
Fantastic.
Outstanding.
Also, there are 3 teams that Nick Sirianni has never beaten. We've been over these. He can beat 2 of them in the next 2 games, the Chargers and the Raiders, which would leave the Seattle Seahawks as the only one that he's never beaten. Again, Fran's like, this team's not going to ever win again.
I like if I had wheels, I'd be a bike. But I mean, you need at least
I don't
2
think
wheels,
that's factually true.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not true.
Like,
Where
I don't
are the
think you
wheels?
would
But
be a
it's a
bike.
PG version of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's tasteful.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Nice long episode to get you ready. Get all weekend to listen. Get ready for the game. We will have you covered with full game day coverage on Monday of Eagles, Chargers. Awesome stuff. Thank you, Professor. Thank you, EJ. Thank you, Fran. Should I wrap up, Swooper? Should I say what the items were very quickly. EJ spent a lot of turkeys on only possibly getting 1 point of this, but you have 5 yards, 8 yards, 6 yards, and 10 yards. And then you also have the poo-poo platter of Saquon, Tank, and Saquon, all that stuff.
EJ's going to try to
Fran's
sit
got a
next to
good
the
slate this week.
EJ, do you know where the official scorer sits when you're in the press box?
I actually don't. I probably should.
You might want to sit near the official scorer and be like, "Come on, that was 5 yards."
Yeah, it looked more like 5 to me.
No, it was 4. Like, no, yeah.
It's going to be 3rd and 5. 3rd and goal from the 5. And the Eagles are going to score a 5-yard touchdown to keep his 100% red zone goal to go. And I am going to break my TV. I'm going to be fanfish.
Fran has Eagles outgained the Chargers on the ground over 20. Combined 20 yards plus passing under center. Tank and Shipley snaps are greater than Saquon's longest play from scrimmage. Zack Baun has more tackles than Aronde Gadsden has Yak. Any of the kicker or returners who used to play for the Eagles or whatever scored 10 points in the game.
with a bunch of caveats.
6 yards and 10 yards is the most popular one. And Eagles have more sacks than Alabama's win. I cannot believe you let him get that for so little.
I wanted to save the turkeys for my poo-poo platter and then get some turkeys for next week.
Why did you want the poo-poo platter so bad?
Yeah, that one is way more valuable than your poo-poo platter.
I like a poo-poo platter. You got a lot of chances at it.
Okay.
I would have made it
a
lower
defensive
if I
special
knew
teams touchdown.
the
The Chargers average fewer than 6 offensive plays per drive. A Hail Mary is thrown, and the Eagles win by 2 points or more. ×2, baby. All right.
That was Zach's thing. Like, whenever it was a lot of items, he would think it was a valuable thing.
I mean, I don't know
if it was like,
I don't know if that's a good thing for
20
me.
items.
The sun is going to rise in the west.
20 items that each have like a 1 in a million chance. But he was like, there are 20 things. Like, I got to think.
That'll do it for this episode of the PHLY Eagles podcast. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. Like the video, all that good stuff. We will talk to you on Monday. And as always, thank you, Lindsay, and we love you.
We all silly like the mayor.